future. The next money habit that I see a lot of people making the mistake of is trying to keep up with their friends. And this is particularly dangerous if you have a friend that's making a lot more money than you are and has a more expensive lifestyle or more expensive taste. You need to resist the temptation to keep up with them if it's not within your own means. So if your friend all of a sudden starts inviting you to, let's say, $100 per head dinners all the time, then that's something you might want to stay away from, or at least be honest with them and say, listen, I don't really have $100 a night to spend on dinner. If they're really your friend, they're going to understand that, and that's going to be totally cool, and you guys can do other types of activities that might not require so much capital every single night. But when it comes to managing your finances, you want to be very insular. So what that means is you want to be looking out for yourself, because a lot of your friends might not have that kind of idea of they want to look out for you because they're so focused on themselves. Everyone's kind of living their own life and is on their own timeline. So if you're not as successful as your friends right now, that doesn't mean you're not going to be more successful than them later on. Now, even though keeping up with your friends is something you should avoid, you still want to use this with a grain of salt or with a little bit of discretion. Even though I'm saying you shouldn't keep up with your friends, there are some situations in which you want to use this suggestion with discretion. For example, if you're at a birthday dinner that you agreed to go to and maybe you didn't order as much food or as many drinks as some of your friends, and all of a sudden the bill comes and there's 8 of you guys and you guys just want to split it evenly, sometimes it's not worth kind of fighting or arguing about an extra $5 or $10 you might have to put on your tab. In this case, it might just be worth biting the bullet in terms of paying a little bit more just to keep things a little bit more smooth, especially in the social dynamic. Maybe the real problem was not setting your expectations super clearly before you went to that birthday dinner. So whenever I go to a birthday dinner, I know that I'm just gonna have to spend a little bit extra than whatever I order just because of miscellaneous things that come up on the tab, especially with tax and tip. That's always something that people don't account for. So you wanna avoid keeping up with your friends if it starts to become really unreasonable, but for certain situations like the birthday dinner situation that I just talked about, that might be a more reasonable way to keep up with your friends instead of just saying, okay, I'm not gonna do any social events